Hello. Today's going to be a very weird video because this is huge behind me. So let's get to it. But today we're doing a comparison review for the Dino Fury Megazord from Power Rangers Dino Fury and Kishiryu Ryusoulger KishiRyuOh from KishiRyu Sentai Ryusoulger. Woo! Yeah! Alright, we're only doing the Red Ranger today. We're not doing the blue and pink. We'll do those for another one because of what's the difference between the two boxes. Now, I will show off the difference between both boxes, but after that, I'm not going to show the difference between boxes after that because, well, it's just huge. So today we're going to start off with the Red Ranger Zord being from Ryusoulger and Dino Fury. Again, we're only doing the Red Ranger because it's going to take a while and the two boxes are very different. So without further ado, I'm going to transition to one box being Japan first because it came out first, then Dino Thunder. Alright? Cool. Alright, so unboxing this one is going to be a little bit easier because, again, it's smaller, it's not super long, so let's get into it. First, you're going to make sure, doesn't matter where you cut it, it can be from the top and bottom. And I'm going to take this one out. Shing. Place that off to the side. Now this is when the paper instructions almost stop. There's like one more, but this one has paper instructions from Japan. So then, as you can see, everything is wrapped in plastic. So I'll take that off with this weird transition. Okay, let's unbox this one. Again, this one's going to be very different because of how big it is and how it's designed. So this one is... Oops, I did it on the other side. So, always cut the tape off, and then this one I have to pull out so much. And then a thing fell out. But again, pulling out the long box, and again, paper instructions. This one has paper instructions for all 5 Zords, but again, we're only doing the Red Ranger. But usually when these come in the box, it came in like 3, but again, we're only doing this one. So after this, so let's take them out and we'll get started. Ta-da! Okay, so as you can see, there's a major difference. Japan is right on your right, and on the left is the American Hasbro edition. So as you can see, there are plenty of differences on these ones. And I will show off the differences between these when these guys are off. I can show off one difference. Well, that's one of the differences. But for this guy, right? There are little circular pegs on this. And you just place him in. And he kind of stands out there. I know you can't see it because there's a lot of room. And then this one doesn't have a square peg. It just has this little slot right here. However, that can go in between that. It's not as nice as the round pegs, but it's something. And it moves those off the side. This is an extra part in the American one. This goes to the green Tiger Claw Zord. But I will get into that one later. And they say it's Tiger Claw. For the other one, it's Tiger Lance. So I don't know. But we'll save this for later because it's bundled with the Red Ranger. So. But there are various differences between these two. So many differences. So I'll point out some of the main ones, which are found on this one and not this one. Besides being big, the only difference between this one and this one is the fact that if we look right here, I'll bring it up closer, there are the pegs on this one can pretty much be found on that part, while the pegs on this one are not there. They're kind of rounded out, so it doesn't really click on like this. The main differences with this one is there are a lot more parts of articulation, like on the T-Rex Champion Zord claws. These can go in and out with some clicking joints. There's some free play with like bend joints on the legs. These are on ball bearings. And of course, some mouth articulation. And these teeth are very sharp. They're not as sharp as the ones on the American one, or the Japanese one. So that's a lot more satisfying click. And again, there's not a lot of sharp teeth on the Japanese one than the American one, but there's like more range of motion from the American one and the Japanese one. Alright, so I'm gonna do a weird transition thing again, but bear with me with this one. So okay, before I transition to Megazord, I gotta show off these guys. For one, we'll start with Japan and then we'll go back to American. So the Japanese one, it has the actual Dino soul, or the Ryusoulger, which is pretty amazing. As you can see, there is a little of the symbol there. And then there is this, and then when you hit the button on the side, which is right here, clicks into place and you get the little Ryusoulger Knight, as you can see, and then the sword is gold, and then that just turns into like an action, and then that would be the back of the sword's head. For the American one, it is not painted in, and it doesn't have the components. It does have the shield, but as it's shown on the sticker, not on the side, that would be on this side. As you can see the part of the head there. But one of the cool things about this one is it does have a back head cover, but it also has a little Red Ranger. Look at that, a little Red Ranger. See, back of the head, and like that. Other than that, besides these two, the biggest difference between this one and this one is its head can move when it's in Megazord mode, which is like the main point. So let's go back. Alright, so for a side comparison, just bear with me because the voiceover is going to be a little weird. Alright, so for a side comparison, just bear with me because the voiceover is going to be a little weird. You're going to take off the head and then the shoulders. I'm going to go like this. So 1, 2, 3. Then back here, you're going to take off these. Again, starting from here and here. 1, 2. You're also going to take off the tail. Now the tail differences I will show later, but it has to do with this part. Next, you can't really bring this back unless you push this button. So, but before you push this button, twist this around, just like that. Push the button, then it just kind of locks into place. Bring the fist down. Clicked open for one click. Bring over the arms. Now, the difference between the American, and this is where I stopped the comparison, but the differences between the American and the Japanese is you're going to pull the legs down, so that way it's taller. Tail, back of it, with pegs here, place it on the back of there. Cannons are going to go on the arms just like this. Little square pegs there. And then the needle, instead of them being like this, they're going to go like this and be placed on top with the square peg with the little Lego pegs there. Head goes in the middle. And then this just kind of slides in like that. And then ta-da! Alright, so as you can see, they are very different, especially when it comes to paint, size, design. So the biggest things is the paint on the arms are missing for the original, since it's all blacked out. There's no silver or red on them. However, the helmet doesn't have a black visor inside it, but this one does. This one is also more detailed when it comes to machinery parts than the original Japanese one. And like I said, on the back of the tail, there are actually 2 extra pegs than there are in the Japanese one. And there you go. That is the comparison review for Ryusoulger's Kishiryu or Ryusoulger KishiRyuOh and the Dino Fury Megazord. Technically, this isn't even the Dino Fury Megazord. This is basically battle mode for the T-Rex champion Zord, which makes no sense, but whatever, they can do what they want. There is a couple of other modes that I want to show off, and they are pretty simple, so I will just show it off with one, and then you guys can kind of see. And it'll be another weird transition. So here we go. Ta-da! So this is basically one of the modes, which is kind of like a Garchompy mode. There's also 2 other modes that I'll show off. But as you can see, there's like a Garchompy mode, which is actually kind of funny, but you can play with these as much as you want. So here we go. Next mode. And now we have this mode, which is a sword-tailed mode. As you can see, the cannons are on the sides. Drills are on the seam, and then the tail is up front, and then their heads back on, and then we got one more mode to go, which is probably, I think, is the best mode ever. Also, I do want to point out one thing. Ta-da! I had to get creative with this one because, again, the back one doesn't have, like the American one doesn't have the one on the back, so I just kind of attached it like that, and it's so dumb. But you can have fun with anything from the Zord Link series, especially the Japanese ones, which makes it really cool. I call them the Lego of Power Rangers because most Legos are like 4 pegs, and it's hilarious. And there you guys go. There is my review for Power Rangers, Dino Furies, T-Rex Champion Zord / Battle Mode, and Kishiryu Rimigos and Ryusoulger KishiRyuOh. Because, yeah. Oh, and that little piece I did mention, this has what I would call a puzzle peg. See, little plus peg that just kind of goes inside there with the little hole. And yeah, so that's what it's supposed to be, but that's not how it's supposed to look, because how it's supposed to look is basically this. I think I know why they did that, but literally there's like the bottom piece that people can use. And yeah, but anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video of Zord Link, and then one where the next episode is gonna have blue, and is gonna have the blue Triceratops and pink Stegosaurus. So stay tuned, and thank you guys for watching. Bye.